Okay, let's take a look at the tape for this welterweight contest. 33-year-old American Tim Means is taller than the Palestine-born 29-year-old Belal Muhammad by 3 inches. Means will enter the octagon with a slim 1-inch reach advantage. With the introductions, here's Joe Martinez.
And here we go, fight fans. Our next bout tonight, 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, is a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 11 inches tall. Weighing in officially 170 pounds, his professional record stands at 12 victories and 2 defeats. Fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, USA, here is Belal. Remember the name, Muhammad. And his opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner. He is a striker wrestler, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall. He too weighed in 170 pounds and has a record of 27 victories, 8 defeats, 1 draw, and 1 no contest. Hailing from fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, USA, here is Tim, the Dirty Bird Means. Referee to the action is Steve Percival.
Steve Percival stands between the 2 fighters. Thank you very much, Christy. All ready for round number 1. Belal Muhammad. Tim Means. Maximum 3 5-minute rounds of welterweight action. Straight into the centre of the octagon was Muhammad. Orthodox versus Southpaw. We got Means in the black, Muhammad in the green. Early exchanges down.
Really sharp striking from Means early on, making the most of that reach advantage that he has. He's such an unorthodox striker as well, really good at switching his stances, and moving forward as he's striking, moving backwards as he's striking, catching people with counter punches as they overcommit.
Muhammad was originally scheduled to fight Jesse Taylor, but that fight didn't happen. Jesse Taylor got flagged by USADA. Now is a very different opponent now with Tim Means. The only thing, however, that Muhammad was worried about was maybe the physical size difference. You were talking about the length of Tim Means and his reach.
Well, if I was to ask somebody which one of these fighters used to fight at lightweight, I would imagine most people would get it wrong. Yeah. I mean, Tim Means was a huge lightweight. He's a huge welterweight, but he uses his reach and height very well. He makes the octagon incredibly small, but also utilises the reach very well. So people feel like they're on the end of his punches, but they can't reach him, which can be incredibly frustrating. And one of his best performances, in my opinion, was against John Howard, a beautiful counter right hook, and he kept it very tight to his body as well. He didn't wing it out, because if he had, it wouldn't have landed. Caught John Howard clean on the chin, who is a very tough individual in his own right.
Showing us different looks inside the octagon as well. Down against Alex Garcia, he wanted to prove his wrestling was strong as well. Garcia had something like the 3rd most amount of takedown attempts coming into that fight, and you know, Tim Means did a very good job of dealing with him, coming away with a W.
Nice straight left there. Yeah, Alex Garcia is a powerhouse, but Tim Means didn't at all look out-muscled in that exchange. Nice short, tight right up from Belal Muhammad there. Tim Means still pushing forward.
Talking of last fights, Belal Muhammad beat Jordan Mein, and he said that Tim Means is actually another version of Jordan Mein. That's how he's kind of got him in his mindset.
I would say the only difference between the two, and something that Belal Muhammad is realising now, is that Tim Means, oh, that was a nice left hook there over the top of the lead hand of Tim Means. I would say the difference between Tim Means and Jordan Mein is the aggression of Tim Means. He's far much more of a risk taker. Tim Means, to me, is a very intelligent fighter that tends to outthink himself a lot of the time, whereas Means is much more of a flow state fighter. He allows things to kind of figure themselves out, knowing that he has the skills to deal with whatever confronts him.
Later on, though, it's a complete recap of all the action in Sydney, Australia. Our FS1 UFC Fight Night post-fight show immediately following the main event on FS1, or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. So Means frustrating Muhammad with that long-reach jab.
Yeah, but Belal Muhammad is now starting to do very good at closing the distance up and coming over the lead hand of Tim Means. You see him continually throwing that left hook over the top, and then he starts to chain the right hand on the end of it. He's finding his range, but the pressure, I feel, is taking him by surprise.
He does look very big indeed, standing in the centre of the octagon. setting up the kicks. Tim Means actually has a ongoing case against a supplement company that he used when he got flagged for a banned substance. He's really taking it to the big company there, wants to shut the doors on them completely.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. One for the little guy as well. Very costly process.
If USADA has taught us anything, it's that these supplement companies need to be held accountable for the terrible stuff they put in their products. They need to be regulated a lot better, because some fighters are getting caught out purely because they're using stuff that should be legal, should be cleared for them to use, but it's not because they're tainted, and that is a problem that Tim Means has faced in the past. And, fortunately for him, he has the money to chase after it and to bring these people to rights.
But maybe he doesn't. That's maybe why he's taken this fight on late notice.
Maybe that's why he's chasing the fight of the night bonus tonight.
Exactly. Let's take a look at that then. So, total strikes landing very close indeed between both of these fighters.
Yeah, exactly the same with their success rate. 38% for both guys.
Belal Muhammad, I believe, moved closer to the gym recently. Well, certainly lives close to the gym. Get a lot more training in.
Beautiful work there with a back fist to a right hand. Oh!
We'll be back for the next round after these.
All right, good. Not a bad round. Here's your water. Okay. So what he's doing is he's blitzing through the center, and he's body shot, and he's trying to come over the top with the left hook. Okay? So watch that. That's his setup. It's going low and then high. Okay? He needs you to stick that jab out. Keep popping that jab out. Keep your feet moving. Circle. Okay? Use your range. Good round, though. I'm good.
His body, you're gonna have to dig in the underhook though, okay? Okay. So when he stops in his track, force the underhook, push him to the cage more. All right? Let's see what he got on the ground. Let's start to hurt him a little bit more. All right? And your jabs, keep him stiff. All right? Good work. Good work. Good work. Good work.
On Saturday, November 25th, former middleweight champion Michael Bisping and 26-year-old bruiser Kelvin Gastelum main event the UFC's first event in mainland China. And you can see it only on UFC Fight Pass. Action begins at 7 Eastern, 4 AM Pacific, only on UFC Fight Pass.
So the message from Tom Bourne in the corner of Tim Means there is that Belal Muhammad's trying to come over the lead hand, which is what he's been landing a couple of times in that first round, the lead left hook. So that's the setup he's expecting now. So the question is, what does Tim Means do to deal with that? Does he move out of the way and avoid the left hook, or does he start to set Belal Muhammad up so he starts walking onto things? He has razor sharp elbows. At one point he actually said he's got the best elbows in the welterweight division, so maybe he's going to look to try and prove that again tonight.
He's having some nice success there. Nice head movement as well, Dan, not sort of overemphasizing it, just getting out of the way enough.
Yes. Oh, the guillotine attempt. Belal Muhammad rolls to pass, but Tim Means has still wrapped the neck.
Oh, the fence got in the way. Well used by Muhammad. Gets himself in a dominant position here. Talking of fighters that have been with their coaches a long time, he's still with Lewis Taylor, who he's been with since his high school days. That's Belal Muhammad. One of 2 takedowns successful for Muhammad. But Tim Means back to his feet, using that reach advantage. Muhammad telling the media that he's feeling much more comfortable as a UFC fighter and being inside the octagon, which is why he's having more success. 2-fight win streak, won 3 of his last 4. Really wants everyone to be talking about his performance tomorrow.
It was kind of a baptism of fire in his debut, because he fought Alan Jouban, and I think at the time people didn't realise, how dangerous Alan Jouban was going to turn out to be. And that turned out to be a fight of the night, but he did lose a unanimous decision. But then, you can learn so much from a loss, and with it being his UFC debut as well, I feel like he's turned that around very well. Picked up one more loss in the process to Vicente Luque, but a first round knockout, sometimes you just get caught. Other than that, he's done good work, solid decision wins over Randy Brown, who's a very tall, awkward individual in his own right, and then, as we said, Jordan Meehan, who's a highly skilled technician.
Working behind that jab.
Make him move. Good. Give me a shot. Set it up. Jab hook, jab hook.
Let's listen
Get
to
to the outside.
the Rufus Sport corner of Muhammad.
Teep. Good. Hands up.
Hey, change levels, bully. He's pressuring. He's pressuring.
Make him move. Breathe. Breathe.
Hands higher. Hands higher. Head moving.
That's a thigh.
Have fun. Hands up. Don't reach at his hands, bully. Don't reach at.
Good.
High.
Nice work there from Tim Means, taking away the base of Muhammad as he was coming forward.
1, 2, 1, 2. Don't stay directly in front.
Very technical sort of kickboxing encounter for the most part there.
Yeah, very much so. They're kind of picking at each other at the moment, trying to open up a target to land something significant. Tim Means showed a rear knee just a second ago, because I think he's feeling like Belal Muhammad's going to level change again in a second. Especially now you see that swelling developing on the cheekbone of Muhammad. I expect him to level change and try and ground Means again.
Muhammad, former Titan FC welterweight champion. Tim Means has been a lightweight champion, welterweight champion, and a super welterweight champion as well.
Super welterweight, that's where you wear your underwear on the outside of your fight shorts, right?
Yeah, with a big S.
That's the way. Very evenly matched in the striking so far. I actually expected Tim Means to be able to edge this with his reach advantage. He does seem like the quicker fighter as well, but Belal Muhammad's got such a good understanding of how to find his way around those long limbs.
It's a very good point. He's foraging for openings and using like hand control and parrying stuff to just the small windows.
Nice overhand right there as well. It's really tight on the stats. I mean, there are 2 strikes in it. Tim Means is 2 strikes ahead at the moment. 48 to 46.
Yeah, just a whisker between the last 10 seconds. We'll be back with round number 3 after these.
Fuck. Hold it. Talk to him. Who's? I need the water. Good. Catch your breath. Hey, keep the pace just like this. When you move, he follows, okay? So set him up based off that. When you move, he's gonna follow you. He's gonna chase you. That's when you change levels. That's when you hit him with the hook, and that's when you get that outside kick going, okay? You said. Breathe. Hey, you're doing great, all right? Your cross is landing. I need you to double it up. Attack his knee.
All right, man. You've had this fight before.
Okay.
The Octagon heads to Detroit and the brand new Little Caesars Arena for UFC 218 on Saturday, December 2nd. Max Holloway looks to defend his featherweight crown against former 145-pound champ Jose Aldo in a rematch of their June title fight. UFC 218, December 2nd, 10 in the East, 7 in the West, only on pay-per-view. Nice. Hit me with 1, I'll come back with 2 by Tim Means.
Good information from the coaches in the corner. Belal Muhammad's coach said, when you move, he follows, so try and set him up with something. And Tom Vaughan in the corner, he simply said, you've had this fight before. And that's the benefit of having so much experience like Tim Means has. You know, he's witnessed fighters like this before. He's been able to adapt and get the win before. So now he's just trying to draw on that experience and remind Tim Means of what he's been capable of in the past and try and get him to replicate it.
38th outing for Tim Means.
Oh, nice low kick on the outside. Spun Belal Muhammad around.
18 knockouts, Dan, as well. 5 of them clean, and amongst those wins by knees, punches, elbows. He really does have a full arsenal.
And all of a sudden we have a 10-strike margin with Tim Means edging it. Higher success rates as well, 42% for Tim Means to 31% for Belal Muhammad.
Means has a really interesting backstory as well, overcome some real adversity in his life. I think he's been shot in the past as well, if I read that correctly. An addiction to painkillers as well, which we see quite often with athletes. Breaking the action here.
Okay, you all right?
Yeah, let's go. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Back referee, I'm ready, let's go.
Okay.
Just hold the action while I put my contact lens back in.
1, 2, go. 1, 2, go. 1, 2,
Head kick attempt from Belal Muhammad there, blocked by Tim Means, who's doing an excellent job of dictating the space in the octagon.
Yeah, you're a big fan of footwork, Dan, aren't you? Is there a lot to look at and admire here, by the way, of Tim Means?
There is. He's very smart about the way he uses his footwork and about how he crowds his opponent. But as I was saying in the first round, with him being the taller fighter, you know, he does have the ability to keep people on the end of his punches, so he doesn't have to take a great deal of punishment. And if you look at the striking stats now, there's even more of a difference now. 41% success for Tim Means to 29 for Belal Muhammad. So Muhammad's throwing a lot of strikes that are whistling past the head of Tim Means, but at the same time, the ones that he is landing are really wringing the sweat off the brow of Tim Means. I mean, he's really throwing. Here we go again. Lead left hook.
Am I reading into it too much? But for me, Tim Means having a lot of success with the jab from opposite stances as well. You don't normally see that as much, or maybe I need to watch some more boxing.
No, he's comfortable from both stances. And it's almost like he doesn't really have a set stance. He favours the southpaw position a lot, but if it's not working for him, he's quite happy to switch up and start trying something new. And he does seem very ambidextrous, so whatever he's good at on one side, he seems to be able to utilise on the other just as well.
There you go. Little conversation with them between them as well. Muhammad ducking down, throwing with more power. Third and final round, 1:50 left on the clock. Mixing it up now. Nicely done here by Muhammad.
Beautiful head movement from Tim Means to get out of the way of that kick. A nice takedown defense as well.
I like that though from Muhammad. You know, we started to see a kick and then a takedown attempt. Keep Means guessing.
He's landed some excellent shots. He even got a smile out of Tim Means after a left hook right hand that he threw. But Means is, you know, his toughness, the strength of his chin is incredible.
Oh, very nice 1-2 there by Muhammad. These shots seem to be landing a little cleaner in the third round.
Yes.
1, 2, go. 1, 2, 1, go.
Oh. Flashes of Mortal Kombat again.
Yeah, Means getting creative now.
Oh, that was good work from Belal Muhammad. He threw the right hand, he slipped out the way of the return punch and then threw a second one in its wake.
Yeah, nice vocabulary of different strikes there by Muhammad. Look at these numbers as well, they are so tight. All the way through, Means with more volume here in the third and final round.
1 of 5 takedowns for Belal Muhammad as well. Wasn't able to hold Tim Means down for very long, so you've got to wonder how the judges see that. Do they score it for the takedown effort, or do they score it for the 4 takedowns that Tim Means has defended? Oh, nice elbow there off the lead arm of Belal Muhammad.
Last 10 seconds. Kick there from Means. A bit of urgency as we head towards the bell. And that is the end of the contest. Great stuff here in Sydney. We'll be back with the official decision. Welcome back to Sydney. Time now to get the official decision for this welterweight contest. Here's Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. The totals are: Judge Manderson has it 29-28 for Muhammad. Judge Keach, 29-28 for Means. And Judge Field has it 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Belal. Remember the name, Muhammad.
A really hard-fought decision win there for Belal Muhammad. Let's take a word, my friend. Now, he's a very awkward fighter. He's got a lot of experience. He's a tall, rangy fighter. Did you find problems early on in that first round that you had to adapt to?
Yeah, man, he's really long, and then he keeps his hand low, so you really can't see where the punches are coming from. So I just had to adapt to it a little bit. And, man, it was just a tough fight, man. I used to look up at that guy growing up, watching him fight, man, so I knew it was going to be a fun fight.
And you're getting some momentum together in this welterweight division now. Is there somebody else you have in mind, or are you just looking at climbing the rankings?
Yeah, I definitely got somebody in mind, man. There's a little a coward here I saw earlier this year, this week, by the name of Colby Covington, out here talking trash about other people's countries, man. I don't like that, man. I'm from Chicago, dude. We're both 170. Meet me in the cage, because if I see you on the street, you're going to the ICU.
You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. That's a big call out. Belal, remember the name, Muhammad.